Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Inshallah, today's message will be very, very short. We're off the fiqh, no fiqh tonight. It was a very emotional day since last midnight until now. Subhanallah al-Azim. But I remembered a story of Abu Hatim. Abu Hatim, he was one of the mutasawwifin, one of the Sufi faqih and wa'id. On that time, he lived on the time of Harun al-Rashid. One day he just went to sit among the gathering of Harun al-Rashid. So when they saw Abu Hatim, Abu Hatim, when you see a Sufi man, usually the Sufi, they all what they talk about, to give up the dunya, give up your shares of the dunya and concentrate on the share of the akhirah. And basically just don't show any interest of the worldly life. So the friends of Harun al-Rashid, when they saw Abu Hatim's coming to their gathering, they told Harun al-Rashid, here we go. Abu Hatim is here to ruin our day. But Harun al-Rashid told them, let him come. So Harun al-Rashid asked a man to serve him a cup of water. So the man served him a cup of water. Abu Hatim told him, Haniyan. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless you with it. Thank you, Abu Hatim. And Abu Hatim asked Harun al-Rashid, could you please tell me, if you fail to find that cup of water unless you pay for it half of your kingdom, would you pay it? Just to have a cup of water? If you search the whole land and you fail to find a cup of water to drink it, unless you pay half of your kingdom for it, would you pay? So Harun al-Rashid told him, of course I'll pay. قال هنيئا يا أمير. Could you please tell me, if you fail to urinate that water, if you drank it, and you cannot get it out of your system, unless you pay the other half of your kingdom, you cannot urinate it. You found a doctor told you, you know what? I want the half of your kingdom to cure you from it. Would you pay? He said, of course I'll pay. This is so silly to have a kingdom like yours not worth a cup of water. This is so silly. To work hard to get a kingdom of yours is not equivalent to a cup of water. دخل أبو حاتم على هارون الرشيد فقال أصحابه ندماؤه أتى ليعكر صفوك قال دعوه. فشرب هارون الرشيد كوبا من الماء. قال له أبو حاتم هنيئا يا أمير المؤمنين. قال هنأك الله. قال أخبرني يا أمير المؤمنين، لو منع عنك هذا الكوب من الماء إلا بنصف ملكك، هل كنت تدفعه؟ قال نعم. قال أخبرني يا أمير المؤمنين، لو حبس هذا الماء في بطنك وما خرج منه إلا بنصف ملكك الآخر، أتدفعه؟ قال نعم. قال ومالي ومال ملكك الذي لا يساوي كوبا من الماء. مالي ومال ملكك الذي لا يساوي كوبا من الماء. Many times we underestimate the blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal blessed us with. We underestimate it. There's another story of a man who used to attend the dars of Abu Hanifa. So he's not one of the famous students, but he used to attend the lesson of Abu Hanifa every while, on and off. So he was missing one day. Abu Hanifa told him, "What's the reason of your absence?" قال يا أبا حنيفة, I went to marry a beautiful lady, so her father rejected my proposal. Simply because I'm poor. I don't have enough money to get married. Abu Hanifa told him, and who said that you are poor? Would you sell me an eye of yours for a million dinars? I'll pay you $1 million if you give me one eye. Are you willing to sell it for $1 million dinars? Well, of course not. But here you are. This is the first million. Would you sell me a hand of yours for $1 million? He said, of course not. He said, here's another $1 million. Would you sell a leg of yours for $1 million dinars? He said, of course not. He said, they're 3 million. So Abu Hanifa kept calling or kept counting or adding up the $1 million that man worth, and in the end told him, just go back to them and tell them that Abu Hanifa said that I'm a multimillionaire. So of course that man went back, said, well, you know what? I went to Abu Hanifa's dars today and he said that I'm a multimillionaire. So the man, when he heard a multimillionaire, so he changed the whole idea. So he said, well, you still want my daughter? I said, of course. She's yours. So he took the daughter when she went home with him. He opened the house. She found there's no multimillionaires out there. The poor man, he doesn't even have a blanket. So what's going on here? And he said, yes, I forgot to tell you that Abu Hanifa kept counting my bounty that Allah Azza wa Jal blessed me with, the eyes and the hand and the leg and the ears, and he claimed that I'm worth millions of dollars. So that lady told him, okay, I'll fix him up, that man, Abu Hanifa. I'll fix him up. He tricked me, I'm gonna get him back. So on the very next day, she went out there wearing, the khimar. In the olden days, you won't be able to tell who's wearing the khimar now. There are some male, they wear the khimar. Carrying a purse, and on his way out of the masjid, told Abu Hanifa, could you please hold this purse for me as an amana, and don't give it to no one until I come back to get it from you. He said, of course. So she handed him the purse, and she disappeared. So Abu Hanifa spent a year. Every time of the prayer, when he finished the masjid, he put his chair in front of the masjid. He left his market because he can't leave his place because that lady, she's coming back for her purse. So he used to sit in the front of the masjid for hours and hours every day waiting for her for a year. And no luck. And this is amana. He cannot destroy it. He cannot get rid of it because she told him she's coming back for it. And a year later, didn't show up yet. And at the end of the year, she came back to him, you know who I am. You know who am I? He said, you know. He said, I'm the woman who you tricked by the multimillionaire. And I taught you a lesson to make you sit here for a full year waiting for me. And this will teach you a lesson not to trick a woman again. Not to trick a woman again. So the point here, we underestimate what Allah Azza wa Jalla blesses us with. Wallahi. And many of us, they only acknowledge the bounties of Allah when they lose it. When you lose that money, you remember that, you know what, I missed my chance. I spent that money in the haram way. You have 3-4 children, you only acknowledge their importance when you lose one of them. But in order for you to remember or to acknowledge the bounties of Allah, don't wait until you lose it. Just look at those who lost it. You want to know the importance of your kids? Just attend a janazah, especially for those who lost a kid of theirs. And then you realize how important that your kid is. If you want to know the importance of your eyes or your health, just go to the hospital and see those who lost their health. Those who cannot eat on their own. They cannot walk on their own. You're able to breathe in and out on your own. But there are some people that are on life support. So if you want to evaluate, if you want to acknowledge what Allah Azza wa Jal blessed you with, just look at those who lost some of it. And in the end, be 100% sure that if Allah Azza wa Jal decide to take something from you, it will be a lot less than what He honored you with. Wallahi. Simply because Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ, we will test you by what? بِشَيْءٍ, some, because you won't be able to handle the full test. Some of fear, some of losing soul, some. Because you, the mu'min, you won't be able to handle the whole trial. That's why the Prophet of Allah told us, do not wish to meet your enemy. But if it's happened to you to meet them, just show patience. لا يتمنى أحدكم لقاء العدو ولكن إذا لقيتم فاصبروا. لا يمكن لك أن تتحمل كل الاختبار الإلهي. لذلك الله عز وجل بحكمته وبعدله وبفضله يختبرك ببعض الشيء. بعض. يعطيك 4 أولاد يأخذ 1. بيعطيك الصحة بيأخذ منك المصاري. You still have your health. You take the money away, but you still have your health. You lose a job, but subhanallah, Allah Azza wa Jal will give you peace and tranquility in your heart. دائما الله عز وجل لا يمكن أن يأخذ منك أكثر مما أعطاك. حتى قاعدة براسك وعامل الله عز وجل كما يعاملك الله. عامل الله كما يعاملك الله. هل عودك الله إلا الإحسان؟ هل عودك ربك إلا الإحسان؟ إذا فعامل الله بهذا المبدأ. تقبل الله طاعتكم.